He chose not to have the surgery. He chose to rest and relax and hope it goes away. And then he ended.
We took a look at Gilmore, and if we got Gilmore, we win in the division. I feel like, you know what I mean? I feel like Stephon Gilmore.
Richard Rodgers. He was with our team over the last couple of years. It's just about our fourth time picking him up. What does that mean for...
Welcome to another episode of Bird Gang Nation Sports Talk. I'm your host, Bird Gang 31. Today, we have a very special guest. It's the Colts beat writer Rondo in the building. How you doing, my guy? What's up with you?
No, what's going on, man? I appreciate you bringing me on.
How you doing today? Go ahead and give everybody, some background of, what you do and where you're from.
Yeah, definitely. So Alex Rondo Griffin, I am one half of the Colts Beat podcast brought to you by the Say It Again Network. Everyone and listen to a podcast, iTunes, Buzzsprout, Spotify, Stitcher. You can catch us there. Give us a follow on Twitter at SIA Colts Beat. Keep everything Colts related, beat related, and Say It Again Network related.
Nice. So you been a Colts fan your whole life?
Pretty much my whole life. So I didn't really get into football until middle school. And then so it's kind of funny. So I grew up in the Bay Area. So mom's side of the family was Niners fans. Dad's side of the family is Raiders fans. And so anytime they would play, there'd always be like this beef at the house or like family reunion, whatever. And as a young kid, I didn't want to really be a part of that. So I literally just pop in Madden 03, hit random select, and I got the Colts. So I'm like, okay, that's the team, and I'm sticking with it.
Oh yeah, you gotta love Madden, man. They get you your favorite team right there, boy. We had a lot of stories about the Madden game, helping predict their team. So, as Eagles fans and I'm an Eagle content creator, I need to know what's going on with Mr. Wentz down there in Indianapolis.
Yeah, well, definitely. I mean, first things first. So when we made the trade, I'm not gonna lie, I was not a fan of the move. That was one of the last quarterbacks that I wanted in terms of who was available. I was really just like, look, like he just got off a bad injury. It was bad drama over there when he did not look good. And so I was not a fan. Then you kind of pause, you sit and think about it. It's like, okay, Frank Reich wanted this guy. That's his guy. You saw what they did in 2017. Maybe they can recapture that. On top of the fact that you put Wentz behind our O-line, he's not going to get touched. So you calm down a little bit and say, okay, this could work. And then you see that first video of the OTAs, and he's getting along with all the team and whatnot. They're obviously behind him, and it's like, okay, maybe this works. Now, then we hear the news about the injury, and it's like, okay, see, here we go. That's what we're talking about. But through the course of the offseason, OTAs, the preseason, you've been seeing his progression and whatnot. Again, you go back to the Frank Reich connection, and I think it's going to work out just fine. On our prediction show, I put our ceiling at the AFC Championship with the looking of that. Wentz doesn't need to come in and save us. He really needs to come in and be a game manager and not mess it up. So while the lookout originally looked bad, I think it's going to work out just fine.
Nice, man. We hope so. I need 75% of the plays from Wentz, my guy. I need it. So I'm a low key Wentz. supporter on this side. Try to hope you stay healthy. That did scare me and scared Eagles Nation when he did get hurt again. We're like, come on now, Wentz, don't be screwing us over again. You know what I'm saying? So, like hopefully Wentz get out there and do his thing. Shout out to Big Play Slay, my boy Vic. How you guys doing? Thanks for joining the chat today. So like I was saying, back to what you're saying. So do you believe your team's good enough to win the division?
Absolutely. Obviously, looking at the AFC South, it's literally only a two-man fight. It's either us or the Titans. The Jaguars and the Texans are both irrelevant. And going to the Titans thing, that we went 1-1 last season, but their one win, you can't even count that because we were literally missing half of our team due to COVID protocols. So, and even then, I want to say they only beat us by, I think, 14 or 17. So, I mean, granted, on the scoreboard, it didn't look close, but if you actually watch the game, it really wasn't as bad as the final score predicted. So with Wentz, and even if it's Easton under center, we honestly should have no problem winning the division, just solely to the fact of that you get 4 free wins playing Jacksonville and Houston. Sorry, it's really going to come down to that head-to-head matchup with the Titans. And while all their offensive pieces are nice, Julio Jones doesn't play defense, and that's the glaring hole on that team. And compared to our team, again, we should win the division, but it will be close.
Yeah, man. Hey, them Titans, boy. Julio Jones, my boy, Derrick Henry, he's a beast out there. I definitely have him as being the best back in the league right now. Far and above everybody else in that, running back stable. So, good luck with that one. My next one would be like, what's your biggest worries about the Colts this year?
Definitely the only 2 worries are going to be left tackle, because obviously Fisher still has no realistic timetable of when he's going to be available. Julian Davenport has come out of camp. Reich has announced that he will be the day 1 starter until Fisher is ready. Now, again, Davenport is decent. He proved himself during the preseason, but he's no certified all-pro like Eric Fisher is. So that remains to be seen. But the second major concern after that is our cornerback depth, because after Rhodes, TJ Carey, and Kenny Moe, when you go to the 4, 5, 6 guys, it's either unproven young guys or it's just the talent drop off is very big. And obviously, knock on wood, if we get an injury to one of those 3 guys, we're in deep trouble.
Yeah, man. Depth is always a concern on anybody's team, you know what I'm saying? Like, how you guys stable backs looking?
The running back room has got to be the deepest position group, probably next to linebacker on this roster. We've literally got 4 guys who could probably start on almost any other team in the league, give or take like 5 of them. So you're talking about a really deep room. I mean, for example, like Jordan Wilkins is our 4th string running back. Last season, he averaged 6 yards a carry. Good enough to lead the league if he sustained that over, obviously, an entire season. But with Jonathan Taylor going in the year 2, bringing back Marlon Mack, Naeem Hines, who has forever been a passing back killer. The running back room, I have literally no worries about, not to mention the fact that bringing Mack back, who I honestly thought was going to walk into offseason, is going to be a very underrated move because that's the veteran of that running back room, and he's going to make everything work.
What about them guns on the outside?
Now, receiver, again, it's a question mark, but I'm not concerned by it. Like, obviously, the news of T.Y. Hilton going down with the injury, he's projected to miss probably the first couple of weeks. It hurts, but we've got a lot of young guys in that receiver room. Paris Campbell, Michael Pittman, Zach Pascal, who has been forever consistent and underrated. Then you've got a nice surprise in Mike Strawn, who's looking to be special. And again, I want to temper Colts fans. He's been excited. We've seen all the highlight films of him in preseason and killing it. But let's keep it real that he was a 6th-round pick. He did have to earn his spot on this team. He's not going to come in and be Calvin Johnson, but not by all means. He can come in and produce, and I honestly predict him to produce. But for people thinking he's going to go crazy, let's chill off of that. But we're going to be just fine on the outside.
We got some people saying, what about the injuries on your team? Who's all hurt right now on the Colts right now? Big names.
So big names are T.Y. Hilton is currently out for a couple of weeks, as Eric Fisher before, as I mentioned. Mo Alley Cox, who was projected to be the starting tight end, is still technically out with no timetable. But in terms of, I guess, big names, those are the only kind of key guys. Obviously, I guess there's questions about Wentz and when he's going to be ready. It's looking like he'll be ready for week 1, and same goes for Quentin Nelson.
Okay. And would you guys want Zach Ertz on your roster?
Here's the thing. So in the offseason, that was the name floating around. And me personally, I'm just like, I don't think we need him. Again, I've been big on let's give Mo Alley Cox a chance. We saw last season the one game where you gave him starter reps because you kind of had to. Jack Doyle was out with injury. You gave him nearly all the snaps, and he goes off for 11 catches and 120 plus yards. Like he has shown in very small sample sizes that when you give him opportunity, he can make plays happen. Not to mention the size factor. He's 6'6", former basketball player, giant hands, leaping ability, can go win the jump balls. Has been improving as a blocker every single year he's played in the league. It's his time to shine, honestly. And by all means, Zach Ertz is an all-time great tight end, but I felt that we didn't need him because we presently had guys on this roster ready to take the mantle. Well, the roles we needed for tight end were guys that could be filled by either late draft picks or signing.
So you don't think he'll be a big enough upgrade, to make the move happen?
It's not so much the upgrade. It's just more so looking at as of, I don't think you need to bring, as I'll call it, not necessarily a big personality, but a big talent like that at that position. If you're going to bring someone in terms of like a big name or big talent, I would love to see be more on the secondary as opposed to the offense.
No. Who you guys look if you can bring any coach that you think that can help you guys win a division championship this year? Name off a couple players you think that would, be good enough for that.
I'm sorry, could you repeat the question again?
I said if you could bring anybody in with the coach, give me some positions and some players you wouldn't mind seeing come in that can help you guys win a division championship this year.
Are we being realistic or are we going dreamless? Because I got a couple of dreamless guys that never going to happen.
Give me some dreamless.
Okay.
I like that.
Just put Aaron Donald on our defense because him and Buckner would wreck everything in the world, and I don't even care. Just give me him and only him, and we're fine.
Just all you need is a defensive lineman, you're saying?
I mean, if it's Aaron Donald, though, there's defensive lineman, then there's Aaron Donald. Let's be real.
Yeah, we got Fletcher Cox, so we like Aaron, but
you know what I'm saying?
we happy with Fletch. We happy with Fletch. So what scheme you guys are running this year with the Colts? You know what I'm saying? Like, what are you guys going to be running? Are you guys a 4-3 team, 3-4 team? Are you guys, throw the ball down the field type of team? Or are you guys more like running the ball? You guys don't have Nick Sirianni anymore. I don't know who you guys' offensive coordinator is.
Yeah, so Marcus Brady, he was originally the quarterback's coach. He's taken over as the offensive coordinator. I think, honestly, what you're going to see this year in terms of the offense might be very similar to what you guys saw with the 2017 Eagles team. Because, Frank Wright's getting his guy. And if you look at our offensive pieces, they're all these big targets, but they can also move. Not to mention, as I mentioned with our running back game, we're definitely going to lead run first. You kind of have to when you have the best offensive line in the league. Not to mention, we've mentioned our four guys in the running back room. All four of them can do some damage on the ground, or if you just put the ball in their hands. You're going to see a lot of run first and pass later. But when we get in the red zone, that's when it's going to get real fun. Namely, the fact that we can literally put a lineup of receivers out there where the shortest man will be 6'3".
Oh, nice. Yeah, I'm a huge USC fan. Tell me about Pittman. Is he made the jump from year 1 to year 2?
So that was the pick. When he fell to us in the second round, I was nothing but excited. That the fact that he fell was one ridiculous. Two, we grabbed him just like, instantly he's gonna be a fan favorite in Indy. Like last year, again, kind of had to grow up a little faster than expected with the T.Y. Hilton injury. Zach Pascal, who I love, let's be real, he's not a number one. Pittman is slated to be the future number one of this team. You mentioned size 6'5", runs like a gazelle, 220. And as we've seen this offseason, he's really been kind of the fear guy, the grit guy. He's been the one who's been initiating the camp fights. When it came to the Panthers scrimmage, he's the one in there getting in scrums, starting scrums. He's really going to show some toughness. Mm-hmm. But again, the improvement you've seen from his rookie season into now it's night and day difference. And I think Carson Wentz coming in, who has history of throwing to and really helping Alshon Jeffrey perform better, you're going to see a very equal terms of production from that, because you're getting, I would say, a similar frame in terms of Alshon Jeffrey and Michael Pittman.
Yeah, that was another question. Now that Carson's been back, who has been his favorite target? Has it been Pittman? You know, when he was here with Philadelphia, he liked throwing the Ertz a lot. You know what I'm saying? So he liked to tight end a lot here. Have you guys seen clips or whatever? Would you guys practice to see like who's Carson's favorite target right now?
What I've really noticed, at least, and again in training camp, is he's been kind of spreading the ball. I like the first couple of days, he kind of, as you will, force fed Ty, but I felt that was a necessity. You know that's the number one, that's the guy, and really that's the veteran of the offense. I mean, him and Pittman have had a nice connection. I guess his favorite target might actually be Paris Campbell. That's the
Mhm.
speedster team. That's the guy taking tops off the defense. I guess you could argue he's favored him more than anybody, but I haven't really kind of noticed him like purposely targeting somebody. I guess we won't really get that until we get into the games that matter.
Yeah, man, that's nice. You know, Parrish is a speedster down there. You
Mhm.
know, like I said, I like Pittman. Do you think Pittman can be a league leader receiver this year? You know what I'm saying, or you think what's Pittman's ceiling for you?
So in terms of just stats, I have Pittman probably leading us in catches, but I have Campbell leading us in yards just due to the yak potential. And, you know,
Mhm.
I think Pittman's going to get a lot of action in the red zone, which is going to help with his catches, whatnot. And he, by all means, might lead us in receiving touchdowns. I still think Ty comes back and does that, but if not Ty, I think Pittman leads in touchdowns. But Campbell is a name to watch if we're talking about yards.
Yeah, how long is Ty going to be out for? Do you know?
So right now, reports are that originally the reports said that it's a neck issue, but it's nothing long term. There's been no numbers released. From my understanding, it looks like he might miss the first couple of weeks. It shouldn't be anything major, but from what I can tell, he's definitely going to be out week one.
Okay, okay. And what's that record looking like this year for the Colts?
I have us at the 10-7, 11-6 range. Vegas over under has us at 9.5, which I feel is kind of a pretty good number. Again, I don't see us going crazy and winning like 15 games, anything like that. But one first and foremost is we get 4 games against Jacksonville and Houston. Again, that should be a 4-0 sweep. So based off my record prediction, after that you only need to go 6-7, which sounds bad, but because of our
Mhm.
division, it would get us into the playoffs.
Oh, nice, nice, nice. So you definitely got you guys winning the division this year. You know,
Winning division at the minimum, we're a wild card team, but again, knock on wood, bearing injuries, there is no reason why we should not win the division.
do you think Nelson's the best lineman in the NFL?
Absolutely, 100%, no question, can't argue it. Look at the film,
No, no question. He says.
no question,
You think your
absolutely
boy
no question,
Nelson's better than our Brandon Brooks?
absolutely,
Is he better than Lane Johnson?
absolutely. He's the best lineman in the league.
Ooh, that's a strong word right there. Have you seen any of the Eagles highlights so far? What do you think about the Birds this year?
I guess I have questions about Jalen Hurts. I mean, obviously, like, you guys believe in him since you got rid of Wentz, but I just found it weird how you guys brought in Minshew. That kind of confused me for a little bit. But I mean, I would say the offense really, you guys got a nice youth movement going on over there. I mean, on Miles Sanders, I mean, I have my opinions on him, but he's a nice bag. You can't really hate on him. Devontae Smith, who I thought was a dog in college, is going to come and do great things. I think Jalen Rager, he's another young guy you guys have. He should obviously produce. Dallas Goder, I've honestly loved as a tight end. I felt that was probably the best segue you were ever going to get going from Ertz. I don't think you're going to see any difference on it. That's a guy who I think in a couple of years could enter that Kelsey Kettle Waller conversation, if I'm being real.
Oh, nice. So, yeah, we're expecting big things from Big Goddard this year. So hopefully he does translate to that. You know, I like the way Sirianni used his tight ends last year. Give me some update on your thoughts about Nick Sirianni as a coach.
Honestly, I hated to see him go. That look, that guy, he's a very good offensive brain, offensive mind. Seeing what he was able to do with us, dealing with injuries to our missing our top guy, whatnot, having the revolving door of quarterbacks as we've had, and really never had the offense so much miss a beat. I mean, you could make comments about with the Jacoby year, but even then, it was never necessarily a bad offense. Constantly in scoring position, getting touchdowns, field goals, whatnot, putting up points. You guys have pieces on the offense that he can obviously use and get fun with, and again, it should work out. Again, I don't think you guys are obviously gonna make any damage this year, but like obviously years 2, 3, 4, whatnot, as he's building kind of the culture over there. You guys are going to be set on the offensive side for sure.
Do you guys think you guys should pick up Nick Foles?
Absolutely not. He couldn't even.
You guys don't have a backup quarterback right now, right?
Jacob Eason is the backup quarterback, and we are nothing but more than confident with him. Look, Nick Foles, look, he had a nice run with the Eagles. I think that was just a case of perfect person in a person in a perfect scenario, building off the momentum that Wentz built for you guys. Frank Wright, offensive coordinator at the time, Doug Peterson, your head coach. That was literally, I call it a chemistry locker room Super Bowl that had nothing to do with Nick Foles and had everything to do with everyone else in that building.
Nothing to do with special Saint Nick, my guy. Hey, Nick put up some big numbers in his career. I was at the game when he was a starter for the Eagles back in the day at that Raiders
like
game.
I said, he's
He
a
threw
good
10
spot
touchdowns,
starter, but he can't be your guy.
He had 29 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, my guy. That's a good season regardless on what team you played for. You know what I'm saying?
He's a nice spot starter, but like I said, he cannot be your long-term answer. There's a reason why you guys let him walk. There's a reason why the Bears are going to give up on him. Like he's not an answer.
Well,
he's not a long-term answer for anybody.
It wouldn't be a long-term answer for you guys. It'll be in case Carson gets hurt type situation.
Even in that case, I don't want him with that contract.
Yeah, that's true. Nick does make some money. He does make some money there. So tell me more about your backups there. You said, didn't one of them just get hurt, right?
So Sam Ellinger got hurt after the last preseason game. He's going to be out for 5 to 6 weeks, but he, at least in my opinion, he was never a serious shot to really make the roster unless Wentz was out for significant time. He's more than likely going to go. Ellinger is more likely going to go sit on the practice squad. Jacob Eason is a guy where last year was drafted in the 3rd round, got to sit an entire year underneath Phillip Rivers, and the day Phillip Rivers retired, Colts fans were pushing for Eason to be the starter, which made no sense to me that when Wentz got hurt and people were freaking out that we need to go get into the quarterback, it's just like, hey, you're getting your wish with Eason. What we've seen from Eason in the preseason and in training camp has done enough to not make us worry. And by all means, I'm not saying that he's going to light up the world and be the next great Mahomes or Josh Allen or anything like that, but he's going to be a nice, good quarterback and should have a solid career. By all means, though, if Wentz is healthy, Wentz is the guy. But if for whatever reason Wentz goes down again, I have nothing but confidence in Eason just because, again, of the system we've built behind him and the system he's going into. He has an easy transition to being a starter whenever that day comes.
Do you think Wentz is the long-term starter there?
I guess it depends on your definition of a long term. If I remember correctly, we have him for another 3 years due to the contract. So I guess more so do I think he's getting a second contract? I'm going to say no, but I'll gladly be wrong on that. And I think that definitely could change.
Do you see the talent level with him? Is it your biggest concern with Wentz probably his health as opposed to his actual talent? Do you think the talent's there, to be that franchise guy? You just want to see him stay healthy?
It's definitely more health. I mean, you look at over his Eagles career, the least number of times that he's ever been sacked in a season is 29. Compared to our team last year, Phillip Rivers only got sacked 19 times. Whoa. And now if those two guys are in a foot race, Carson Wentz probably laps him 3 times. So I'd venture to say and argue that if Rivers had some kind of mobility, he probably only really gets sacked 12 times. So I have literally no concern whatsoever about Wentz at a talent area, solely due to the fact that our offensive line isn't going to let him get touched.
Who's all on that offensive line besides Nelson?
You got Nelson at guard. Eric Fisher, when he's back, will be the left tackle. Right now, we have Julian Davenport. Ryan Kelly at center, very underrated selling. Mark Glowinski, probably the weak point of the line at right guard, but even then doesn't really allow sacks. And then Braden Smith, very underrated right tackle, has gone 2 years straight with only giving up 1 sack.
Oh, wow. That's nice. And what was your first-round draft pick this year?
First-round draft pick was Kwity Paye, the defensive end out of Michigan. Nothing but high hopes and excitement for that guy. Pass rusher edge has long been a thing that this Colts team has been missing since the days of Dwight Freeney and Robert Mathis. And by all means, I am not saying Kwity Paye is going to slide into that category and territory of those guys, but He's going to do enough to where teams might have to think about moving some attention off of Buckner and focusing him, which is just going to hurt offenses even more. We're expecting big things out of that young rookie for years to come.
Nice. So you think is he starting this year for your defense?
He's automatically starting. Reich's already announced that he has earned the position. And even in preseason, why I understand that 60-70% of preseason guys aren't making rosters, he has jumped off your screen and he has made some damage in the backfields.
So you thinking, give me your top, like what ranking do you give your offense, and then what ranking would you give your defense in the league this year?
The defense is easily top 5. I'd even go top 3. The offense, we're middle of the pack. I would say we're in that 11 to 15 range.
Nice.
11. Yeah, I'm gonna be like we're not top 10 offense, and we're nothing close to that. But we're not bottom feeders. We're around the middle of the pack, though.
So what makes you so confident in the defense?
Well, last year, this defense was a top 3 defense. In terms of turnovers, they were number 1. Turnover differential, I believe they were at number 2. Sacks, we were 1. Interceptions, I believe it might have been 3 or 4. So you've got that. Not to mention that. So coming into this year, you lost. We lost Justin Houston. We lost Denico Autry, who are our number 2 and 3 sack leaders. But again, bringing in Kwity Paye, you essentially bring back the same difference, save those guys, but you bring in Kwity Paye. Corner might be a question, but you're bringing back 2 safeties who are going to be healthier now. That Julian Blackman and Kari Willis played a lot of last year hurt. We've seen the damage that they can do while healthy. Not to mention that a move that's going to be looked as overlooked is Bobby Okereke now steps full-time into the micro with us losing Anthony Walker, bringing up Zaire Franklin to play strong side linebacker. Our linebacking room as a whole is probably the most depth on that defense, because a guy who I've been big on, EJ Speed, is currently a backup, and he would easily start on most teams in this league, not to mention Matthew Adams, who is, I believe, he's Okereke's backup now. He also would start on most teams.
Oh, nice, man. You got some depth at the linebacker position. That's what I think we need to get as another big-time linebacker in our squad. You know what I'm saying? Would there be any players on the Eagles you wouldn't mind sitting one of your Colts players over for?
Who's your guys' left tackle right now? It's not Peters anymore. I know that.
It's Jordan Mailata. Now, we do have Andre Diller, who was a first-round pick. And a lot of us think we should trade him to you guys. Maybe get somebody back in return, maybe like either one of those linebackers or even Rhodes.
Yeah, no, we can't part with Rhodes. We need that guy. Definitely need him. Like I said, without Rhodes, we have literally no corner one. By all means, I love Kenny Moe, I love TJ Carey, but you can't slide them over to the number 1 position. That's got to be Rhodes.
I need Rhodes.
Rhodes close.
Rhodes close. Give the fans some fantasy football players that if we want to pick up some Colts players, give them a reason why we should pick some Colts players.
All right. Well, for me personally, I'm a big PPR fan. I only play in PPR leagues. Nyheim Hines is a guy who you can get late, and in some leagues, you might be able to just grab him off your waiver wire. If you're playing in a PPR league, he will consistently give you double-digit points on catches and yards alone. That's a sneaky guy. I would say you can also probably grab Michael Pittman late in drafts. As I said before, I'm pretty sure he's going to lead us in catches. Again, back to the PPR thing. So easy points there. Honestly, if I'm being real, you want to take our defense and you want to take our kicker, Rodrigo Blankenship. Last year, Indy defense was, I believe, the number 2 defense in most fantasy leagues. And Rodrigo Blankenship was, I want to say, the number 4 or 5 kicker in terms of points.
Oh, wow, man. See, now you're going to make me go back to my fantasy league and go check out the kickers, guy. You know what I'm saying? You know me, I got to get my Birds defense. You know what I'm saying? I think we're going to come with a fire this year. You know, we got a lot of good talent on our defensive line. You know, we got a lot of young guys, kind of like our offense. We got the veterans where they need to be, you know, on the defense and offensive line. And then all the skill position players around them are kind of young and, you know, up-and-coming players that hopefully will do a good job out there. Let's see. Yeah, man. Anything else you want to add about your Colts team? You know what I'm saying? Like, what should people be on the lookout for besides the record? What else can we expect to see from the Colts this year?
I guess the thing to watch would just really be kind of the progression of the young players. The team as a whole is extremely young. And by that, I mean, T.Y. Hilton and Jack Doyle are our oldest players at the ages of 31. Everyone else on this team is literally 29 and younger. So the team presently as set is built for years to come. This isn't just a 1 year go for. We're going to be around the league for a while with the youth and what we have going on.
Nice, nice. And Ty, how many more years do you think Ty got left in him?
Okay, well, Colts fans have already flamed me for this because I've said this on my own show. This year is his swan song, and I honestly mean, personally, I thought he was walking in the offseason, and by all means, I bringing him back, absolutely zero problem with. You'll absolutely do that since we didn't make moves in free agency. But I think this is it for him this year. I think after this season, he leaves the Colts finally, and it's going to hurt, but it's going to happen.
Is he your third receiver right now?
He
Depth chart?
On the depth chart, he has been permanently put at number 1. So only right now, due to injury, is he not there. But again, with all the movement that's going on, the one thing that has remained is he has stayed as the number 1 receiver.
Like you think, but you said you think that Campbell probably have more yards than him.
Campbell is gonna lead the team in yards. Even if Ty wasn't missing games, I still say Campbell would lead in yards. Ty, if he was here from the beginning of the year, I would say probably leads us in catches, and maybe touchdowns. I think Pittman takes it from him now, but again, Hilton has always put up numbers, even in years where he's been hurt. And even then on his injury history, which people have kind of like blown out the window, in his 10-year career, he has only missed 9 games. Even though it seems like he's always injured and hurt, he's only missed 9 games. It's been only 10 years.
That's it?
He has only missed 9 games.
My boy, Big Play Slay says, how do you feel about the Eric Fisher signing?
I absolutely loved it. That if it wasn't really, people were saying Charles Leno when he was made available. I know people were mad when the Ravens traded their 11th tackle to Orlando Brown when they traded him to the Chiefs. They were mad about that, but Eric Fisher was the perfect answer, in my opinion, since you weren't going to handle that in the draft. I mean, because that's a guy, when he's healthy, is an all-pro left tackle, is a former number 1 pick in the draft. You can argue whether he should have went that high in his draft, but he has proven to be a very good professional offensive lineman. By means, he's not the best left tackle in the league, but when he is healthy and played, he is at an all-pro level.
Nice, nice. Richie, you're late, man. We said that already, but go ahead and give them a recap of the fantasy players from the Colts to pick. But you said the defense, the kicker,
the defense and the defense and the kicker for sure, no matter what your league. And like I said, if you're in a PPR league, you can grab Nyheim Hines late and even on some fantasy wires. And I would take a chance at drafting Pittman because he's slated right now with Ty out to be the number 1 receiver.
And is Nyheim Hines the lead back, the starter back?
So this is the thing. He's not the lead back, but he comes in on passing downs.
Who's the lead, Mac or
the lead back is Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah.
You can honestly, I would say you can take a chance on him as well. I wouldn't draft him. There's certain guys I wouldn't draft him over. But I mean, probably like the 6th, 7th, 8th running back off the board could be Taylor. I see no problem with that. But like I said, if you want a late guy who's a sneaky pick for, again, PPR, Nyheim Hines is the back you want.
Okay, he said, Big Play said, how's the guy Bobby Okura looking in offseason, the Aaron to Anthony Walker?
Yeah, so Bobby Okereke is a guy, again, he was taken in the 3rd round 2 years ago. So he was sitting behind Walker, and then there were plenty of times last season and the year before that where himself, Leonard, and Walker would all be on the field at the same time. So the growth for Okereke is that he is taking over Walker's spot. Now he will be the Mike, essentially the defensive quarterback on the field. People look to Leonard as the face of the defense. By all means, he is. But he's really, in terms of being on the field, he was never the vocal one. It was always Anthony Walker. And so when Anthony Walker went and signed with the Browns and Okereke took that over, Buck and Leonard essentially kind of told the media, is like, hey, you guys think us were the faces, but that guy is the voice now. So, and with Okereke, you're getting a very smart player. I'm not just saying that because he went to Stanford, but we've seen it over his small career. Very smart player. He's very underrated. He's going, in terms of physical tools, he does things better than Walker. Anthony Walker, very underrated in terms of game IQ, but
Mhm.
Okereke is the physical better player. So you're going to see better production. Now, obviously, it depends on how he does being the mic, but I have no worries because, again, he is a very intelligent football player.
Shout out to the 10 in the chat. Please hit that like while you're in here. It goes a long way, my guys. Much love to all you guys. Please check out this guy. And what was it? Say It Again Sports. Go look them up. Subscribe to their podcast. Let them do their thing. They're doing a good job out there with the Colts. So it says Taylor's a lead horse.
Yep.
Heim more the third down back. So what does that leave Mac? Mac's been hurt a lot recently, hasn't he?
So Mac missed all of last season with an Achilles injury. So in last year, Mac was the back. Taylor was going to be his backup. Obviously, the injury changed things, but now it's flipped. Taylor is going to get most of the carries, but Mac's going to get mixed in there also. The thing with the Colts in recent history is one guy has never really dominated the carries unless due to injury. So by all means, Taylor is the lead guy. I'm not throwing any question that Mac will get a few carries in there, and as he said, which he's correct, Hines is more the third down back, but Hines gets in on a lot of the passing downs.
Okay, nice. We said, it said the Eagles still needs cornerback depth. What do the Colts need?
It's about the same. We need cornerback depth. I wouldn't say O-line because, again, we do have Fisher on the roster. He's just injured. Again, I think Davenport can hold his own. It's really more corner depth, and I would like to get another young tight end in that room. I know we just grabbed someone off the waiver wire, but I believe he's also injured or not expected to be ready, but we'll see.
What about Dillard? You give us a third-round pick for Dillard?
Remind me who Dillard is again?
Dillard's our first-round pick we drafted, I think, the year before last.
Actually, we can't even trade our third-round pick right now because I believe that is tied to another. Can we trade our third-round pick? I have to double check on that. But even then, I'm done trading draft picks anyway. We need to stop that. I mean, it depends. Like I said, by the way, the Buckner trade, absolutely no problem with that one. But with after this Wentz one, I'm like, we can wait before we start trading away picks.
Figure out if you're going to have a first or a second, for next year.
Exactly.
And Big Play Slade says Kenny Moore is one of the most underrated cornerbacks.
Absolutely.
Give us a break.
That guy forever gets underlooked. He is the best slot corner in the league.
Woo!
Unquestioned guy, underrated, does a lot of things. He jumps up your screen, does a lot of things that don't show up, does a lot of things that show up on the stat sheet. Last season, he even got in the sack game. I believe he was probably fourth on the team in sacks. I know he had 3. I believe he had 3.5, maybe 4. But he disrupts everything, plays great in coverage, can blitz when we need to. And we're a team that doesn't blitz much, mind you. So with the fact that we do blitz and he does get in there tells you something. But that's a guy who forever gets underlooked. I don't know how he doesn't get Pro Bowls, doesn't get all pros. It's ridiculous. Players recognize him. The media needs to start recognizing him.
Nice. And then, you guys had Gannon too. Give us a breakdown of Gannon.
Breakdown of who?
When the coach Gannon, JG, when he was you guys defensive back coach.
So the defensive back coach, I actually don't know much about. I only know that Matt Eberflus is a defensive coordinator, which with the cover 2 system, it kind of plays into the fact that our corners don't necessarily need to bring pressure. It's more of a contain type system. It's just don't get beat over the top. Like as mentioned before, we don't really blitz much, and it's all zone. So the corners aren't required to play much man. It's probably like 95% of the time it's zone.
I know he helped Rhodes get back to form.
Definitely.
Definitely helping Rhodes get back to form. So what we do on this show is I like to get your all-time Eagles team on this show, but since you are a Colt beat writer, I'm looking for the all-time Colts team. I'm not super familiar with all the players, but I do got some good players I like in my head. You know what I'm saying? That, some easy choices, so you say. But let's go ahead and get your breakdown of the all-time Colts team. Let's go with the quarterback. Give me your starting quarterback, all-time Colts. It could be past or present, and then your backup to him.
All right, that's probably gonna be the easy one because starting is number 18, Peyton Manning. Like no question. Like move on. Backup, let's go historic. Let's go Johnny Unitas.
Johnny United. Hey, before we go to the next position, do you believe Peyton's the best quarterback of all time?
Okay, I'm gonna get flamed for this, and I hate to admit it, but it's that
Don't
guy in Tampa Bay.
don't say Brady.
I have
No,
to.
I thought sure I had
I
you.
have to.
I thought I had you for
Unfortunately,
sure, my guy.
I can't.
Brady's not as good as Peyton.
Look. I'm sorry. I can't argue 7 rings.
That's a team sport.
I understand that, but the fact that he's still no one else had what after 7. I believe the next guy has 3
For what? Super
for
Bowls?
as a quarterback.
Joe Montana, and he never even lost in the Super Bowl ever.
Okay.
He went to 6 and won 6 without losing. Brady's lost a couple of Super Bowls. You know,
Brady's lost. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think Brady's been to 10. Correct.
and he's a cheater. The first 3 Super Bowl have asterisks, big old asterisks inside of it. But hey, it's your call. You're a Colts fan. You seen Mr. Peyton Manning. Me personally, my personal favorite, besides the Eagle quarterbacks, obviously, is Peyton Manning. I think he's one of the best of all time. You know, he changed the game a lot. You know what I'm saying? He was doing things that other quarterbacks weren't doing in the league, not even Mr. TB13. You know? And he wasn't calling his own plays. He wasn't his own offensive coordinator. I remember after the 3rd year, you know, it's said in the media that Brady went and asked Coach Belichick if he can finally start, you know, calling his own plays. So when you transcend the game like that, I give you a lot more respect. Plus, Peyton threw 4,000 yards this season, every season. You know what I'm saying? Like, he never was off track on stuff like that, you know? And TB13 took a while before he started putting up the big numbers, you know what I'm saying? So, like I said, it is a team sport. He does have 7 rings.
I can't argue the 7.
But I will say, pure quarterback, I think Peyton Manning's ahead of Tom Brady. So, oh my God, BIRDGANG, admit Brady's the guy. I'm not doing it, big play. You know me. I would not say it. He's top 5. You know, I would even say top 3. I got Peyton ahead of him, and I also got Joe Montana ahead of him. You know, because Joe Montana's the man. He's the GOAT. You know. Shout out, speaking of the Joe Montana, shout out to CG Ruthless Sports, big Niner content creator in the building. What up, my guy? Much love for sharing the video like you always do. I love you, my guy. Yeah, I'm pretty sure CG, who's the best quarterback of all time? Uncensored said it's Breeze. Yeah, but we know Breeze isn't the best quarterback of all time. You know, but he does have the most yards ever. Give him that. He got more yards than Brady. What? He ain't got the championships, though. What up, my guy? Eagles talk from Delco. Can't wait to do our live tonight, my guy. It's going to be awesome. We can talk them birds again. He said he got a question for Rondo real quick before we get back into his list. What is it, big play? Let him know the question, my guy. Are you going to write the question? That's one of them things where you got to make sure you have the question ready.
Right.
And get it out there, my guy. Well, Richie got a question for you. Right. Are you a Pacer fan? Hey, I
am not.
What? That's what I was hoping for. I am a huge Pacer fan. I was hoping you said yes.
Nope.
I love
I am not.
Pacers, man. Where do you think they get 31 come from? Reggie Miller, baby. Lights out Miller.
Yeah, originally I was a Golden State Warriors fan, and then I bandwagoned over to the Sacramento Kings.
Oh, man. You went to the Kings like that? You know,
I said I was a Warriors fan back when they were garbage. The We Believe games, I was there for most of them. We won the ring. Once we brought KD over and the bandwagon fans got in there, started driving up all the price tickets, when I killing the whole culture in the stadium, I was like, this is whack. I drive down to Sacramento. I pay a fraction of the price. Crowd's more entertaining. The arena's nicer. just way better. And I'm coming from the ground up, so it's going to be another fun
Hey,
rebuild of how I was when I was a Warriors
that
fan.
is a nice freaking stadium. I went and watched it when I lived in Cali. I went there and watched the Cat Williams. Remember when Cat Williams did a show there? I don't know if you remember. It was a couple of years back. Cat Williams did a stand-up comedy show there, and it was awesome, man. Here's a question. There was a safety who was pretty good 2008, 2009, but he got injured a lot. I remember his name, but he's good until the injuries derailed him. Do you know what safeties he's talking about? In
So
2000?
08, 09, I'm pretty sure you're talking about the guy who came in after Bob Sanders. That was Melvin Bullitt, who we thought was going to be the next Bob Sanders, but then having the same problem to Bob Sanders. He could not stay healthy. But that guy was nice in small flashes. I think that's what you're talking about.
And what do you say name was?
Melvin Bullitt.
Melvin Bullitt. Is that who you talking about, Big Play? What up, Philly, the podcast? My God, how you doing? He said, what's up with Wentz being on the COVID list?
Yeah, so him,
Again,
Nelson,
back
and
on a list. He's not practicing again. I didn't even know that, man.
It was him, Nelson, and I think Kelly might have been the third or put on there. I believe it was a close contact due to one of our coaches, I think.
That sucks, man. Keeping Wentz out. You guys better not screw us on purpose. You know,
I'm not gonna lie. When they first
and
announced the
second-round
injury,
pick.
I thought it was Jedi mind tricks. Like, hey, he's only got to play 70%, and it's a second round pick.
I've been thinking about that. I'll be watching your team real close this year in case you guys trying to cheat us out of that first round pick. You know, he said he was talking about Bob Sanders.
Okay, Bob Sanders.
He was a beast.
He was with us before 08, 09. He was with the team. He was with the team on the Manning years. He was on the Super Bowl team. The year we won the Super Bowl, he won Defensive Player of the Year. So,
yeah.
Ironically, that was the only year he was healthy. I believe he played 14 games that season. But yeah, that guy, if he could have stayed healthy, he would have been an Ed Reed, Troy Polamalu conversation. He was that guy.
No, Bob Sanders was a dog. You know what I'm saying? I remember watching Bob Sanders play, because I'm a sports fan. I'm an Eagles fan first, but I do like all the other good players out there in the league, and I kind of keep track of a lot of them. And Bob Sanders was a dog back in the day.
First Colts jersey I bought was his. So.
A Bob Sanders?
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
That guy was the man.
You got the new Carson Wentz jersey?
I do not. I actually haven't ordered. I just ordered an EJ Speed jersey because I'm going to try to get him to sign that for me on week 1. I have not got a Wentz jersey yet.
You said EJ Speed like a couple of times. Who is this guy again?
He is one of our backup linebackers. We drafted him 2 years ago in the 5th round. His college backstory is crazy. He was recruited to college as a quarterback, got injured, transitioned to linebacker, and then he started breaking school records as linebacker.
And now he's a backup linebacker this year.
He's a backup linebacker, but he starts on special teams, and at least on special teams, he makes plays. And he was slated and given the ability to compete for the strong side linebacker position. Because of injuries, Zaire Franklin is going to take that from him. But Zaire Franklin is no scrub either. But EJ Speed is a guy to look out for in the future. Him, Leonard, and Okereke should be our linebacker core for years to come.
Ooh, yeah, man. And how do you feel about the second round pick of the Colts? I actually like it. Who's your second round pick?
So he's referring to Dio. I can't pronounce his last name, but he's another defensive end. He was in the draft. He was injured, so we knew he most likely wasn't going to play this year. That's kind of a stowaway future pick. When he's back and healthy, him and Pay should be our tandem on the outside for the future. Like his tape is crazy. So hopefully that translates over to the NFL.
Nice. Okay, so now back to the list. We got jumped off the list for a little bit. We got Peyton Manning, and who's the backup quarterback to Peyton?
Johnny U.
All right, let's go with 3 running backs, all-time Colts team.
All right, we're going to go Edge James, Marshall Faulk, and let's just take a current guy. Let's just throw JT on there.
Jonathan Taylor, Edgerrin James, and Marshall Faulk. That is a nice running back room. I'd be forgetting that Marshall Faulk played all the years for the Colts. And then he went to the Rams. Did he? No, he wasn't on the Colts team when they won.
No, he was not. No.
Yeah, but he was on the Rams team when they won those back-to-back Super Bowls. Yeah. Nice, man. Give me 2 tight ends.
2 tight ends. Dallas Clark for sure, and then ever consistent Mr. Jack Doyle.
Joseph Adai. Nice.
Joseph Adai was nice for a couple of years, and then he fell into that running back thing of where they after 3 years they die. But I mean, he was nice for like the small period.
Yeah. And then now give me 4 receivers.
Definitely starts with Reggie Wayne and Marvin Harrison. I throw T.Y. Hilton on there as my personal favorite. The fourth one is tough, but let's just complete the trio and put Brandon Stokely there.
Brandon Stokely, that dude was tight. That little slot corner him. Brandon Stokely made some big plays out there. Yep, Reggie Wayne and
Automatic.
yeah. Automatic, yeah.
Automatic.
Okay, so give me that starting offensive line for the Colts.
So this one isn't gonna make sense position wise, but either way, it's gonna Tariq Glenn's at left tackle, Quentin Nelson's at left guard, Jeff Saturday is playing center, Ryan Kelly is gonna get moved over to right guard, and Braden Smith is playing right tackle.
Nice. Defensive line.
Defensive line, automatic is Robert Mathis and Dwight Freeney on the outside.
Bookends.
Yep. And we're going with Buckner in the middle. And just because I can't really think of another defensive tackle, I'm going to go with a guy most people I know. I'm going to go with Grover Stewart. He's our current starting defensive tackle.
Oh, I thought you were going to go with Corey Simon from the Eagles. You know, he played over there. He played some ball with the Colts. I had him on the show. He talked about that. Yeah, that was good stuff, man. Give me your 3 best linebackers.
Linebackers, we're going to go Gary Brackett, Darius Leonard, and I'm going to throw Anthony Walker on there. Honestly, he had a nice run with the Colts. Very underrated.
Nice. 3 cornerbacks.
3 corners. We're going to Marlon Jackson, of course. He's got the most famous interception in Colts history.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to get his battery mate, Kelvin Hayden, and I'm taking Mr. Underrated, Kenny Moe.
Kenny Moe. All right. 3 safeties.
3 safeties again. Got to get the elite tandem of Antoine Bethea and Bob Sanders.
Bethea was a beast too, man. Yes, I do remember Bethea. He played after the Patriots, or did he play before the Patriots? I don't remember that part.
What do you?
Because Bethea was on the Patriots too, right?
I know he left us and went to Arizona, so it might have been before. After he left us, he left the Colts, went to Arizona and New York, I believe. So that might have been before us.
Okay. But yeah, Bethea was a beast, man. I like it. Your kicker.
Oh, Anna Vinatieri.
Yeah,
easy.
That's an old Patriot guy, though, for sure. And your punter.
Automatic, Pat McAfee.
McAfee. And who's coaching this all-time Colts team?
Tony Dungy.
Dungy, my guy. Who's going to be the defensive coordinator for this team?
Defensive. Just give me Matt Eberflus. I would want to see cover 2 with Mathis and Freeney on the outside.
Is that Antonio Bethea was a coach?
Yes, sir. He was on a Super Bowl team.
Do you remember what I'm talking about, Slay? Him being on the Patriots too? I don't think that's how he spelled his name, but Pat McAfee.
Yep.
Legend. Definitely a legend. Nice, man. Well, hey, man, much love to you. Thanks for coming on the show today. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad I reached out to you. You were able to come on here, man. We definitely, once the season starts, if you want to get back on there, get together again, we can do some mid-season type stuff or something like that, you know, and see how the Colts are doing, because, you know, we're going to be keeping a close eye on the Colts this year, making sure you guys do what you got to do. You know, you said you guys have the best offensive line. Keep Carson healthy, my guy. Keep him healthy for 75%, and then if he goes down after that, then I don't care. But you got to do your job. Keep them healthy. Let's get some wins. Because I think it does have to do with playoffs, too. It's either 70%.
It's 75%, and we make the play. No, yeah, it's 75%, or it's 70, and we make the playoffs.
Yeah, 75 or 70% of me to make the playoffs. So I think that's what he only can miss 4 or 5 games.
It's 5 games, so that's why when that number came out that he was going to be out for 5 to 12 weeks, that's what I was looking at. If he misses 5 games, that way he would fall under 70% of the snaps.
Yeah, good luck versus the Seahawks week 1. Who you got in that week 1 matchup? You and the Seahawks.
This is the year where we finally break our week 1 curse. The Colts have not won a home opener since 2013. We haven't won a week 1 game since 2009.
Whoa. I haven't won the first game of the season since 09?
Since 09, I haven't won a home opener since 2013. So this is the year that streak finally gets broken.
And you guys gonna go out there and beat up on the Seahawks?
Need to. Absolutely need to.
All right, my guy. Well, go ahead and give them one more last breakdown where they can find you at and get your information, your great content at.
Absolutely, definitely. So Colts Beat, give us a follow on Twitter at SIA Colts Beat. You can also follow myself at Rondo_Uno. Like I said, myself and then my co-host Anthony Gulick bring you everything Colts related, beat related, and NFL related.
All right. He said Carson Wentz has never beaten the Seahawks in his career.
There, okay, here we go. See, that's perfect. This is perfect.
Beating us when he was on our team. I don't think we beat the Seattle Seahawks both times we played them.
Perfect. Start running 30 for 30 right now when the streak ends.
The streak's about to end. He's saying the Colts are winning the game one. Carson's gonna go win. He's staying healthy through the game, and we're gonna get that first round draft pick, my guy. Hey, much love for coming on the show. All you guys, please hit that like on the way out. Let's fly, Eagles, fly. Like I always say. And until next time, this was Bird Gang Nation Sports Talk. I am Bird Gang 31, and we are out. Peace.